let's get into the 1 o'clock slate. Jets at Ravens. The Ravens are 13.5-point favorites. I like the Jets not to win this game outright, but I think they can cover the spread. They covered the spread against the Patriots team in Gillette that is better from top to bottom than this Ravens team. And Drake May has been playing better football this season than Lamar Jackson has. And this Jets team is going to play inspired. No matter what you say about the Jets roster construction, going with Tyrod over Justin Fields, they're 2-8, whatever. They're going to fight for Aaron Glenn. They haven't showed any sign of quit. They haven't rolled over a single time yet this season. And the Ravens might be without Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton. The Jets have a top 6 rushing attack in the NFL. Tyrod Taylor is starting for the Jets instead of Justin Fields. That means that this offense in general will be more productive and won't just be so one-dimensional with this run game. And the Jets defense it's gotten timely stops. It really has. It's been very week to week. Obviously, you can expose it, especially in the back end now that they traded away Sauce Gardner. AZ Thomas is hurt too, so it's looking like Quantez Stiggers and Brandon Stevens against Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins. That's not ideal. The Jets' run defense has been very week to week as well, but I think Derrick Henry should have plenty of opportunities, especially if he gets to the second level against a young Jets linebacker core and a Jets interior defensive line that is just horrible now without Quinnen Williams. So I do think the Ravens will have success moving the ball, but I also think this Jets offense, if they lean on Breece Hall, control the clock, maybe create a turnover because they only have one turnover on the year so far. I think this Jets team is getting slightly overlooked. I think they can cover 13.5 here on the road in Baltimore. And Baltimore has had trouble finishing games. They've had trouble finishing drives as well. They kicked like 3 red zone field goals a week ago, 3 goal-to-go situations a week ago, and they had to kick field goals. They haven't been able to ice games. 2 of the last 3 weeks, they had a lead in the fourth quarter. They had multiple chances to, put together a 4-minute offense. They punted 4 times in those situations. I think the Jets have a real chance to upset the Ravens, or at least cover the spread. Upset's crazy, but I think they cover 13.5 comfortably. This team isn't rolling over and dying, and you got to respect them for that. Seahawks at Titans. Oh, sorry, water break there. My throat hurts, and I think it's just from talking so much. Seattle at Tennessee. You take the Seahawks minus 13.5 here. The best bet for NFL Sunday has to be the Seattle Seahawks. Their average win margin versus teams under 500 is 21 points this season. The Titans are the worst team in the NFL. Gray Zabel wasn't at practice, which is worth noting, not for this week, but for next week, or for the future. If Gray Zabel doesn't play, that does hurt the Seahawks offensive line. But outside of Jeffrey Simmons, there's no pass rush in Tennessee. And not to mention, the Seahawks defense is top 3 in yards per pass attempt, top 3 in scoring, top 10 in total defense and yards per carry. They only allow points on 30% of the drives against the Seahawks defense. One of the best pass rushes in football, one of the best athletic secondaries in football, and the Titans offense is 32nd in rushing, 30th in passing. You got to take the Seattle Seahawks to cover 13.5 here, and I know a lot of you are going to think, well, Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions. Bro, if Sam Darnold doesn't have pressure on his face, which he shouldn't against a Titans pass rush, that is middle of the pack. Probably the strongest point of this team is their pass rush, but outside of Jeffrey Simmons, I don't trust anybody to get home and really disrupt Sam Darnold enough where he's not playing a good brand of football. L'Jarius Sneed isn't the player he was in Kansas City. JSN should have a day. The Seahawks actually ran the ball pretty well last week, too, against a Rams run defense that is pretty solid. So I like the Seahawks to blow out the Titans. They've been dominating bad teams all season. I think that trend holds true on Sunday as well. Steelers at Chicago. 2 teams that I fucking can't stand. Although I got to say, the Bears have impressed me way more this season than the Steelers have. I just have a personal vendetta against Ben Johnson. I love the Bears in this game. I love the Chicago Bears on Sunday, and I haven't been a Bears guy all season. I think the Bears could potentially rout the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bears' defense has not been good. It has not been good. Bottom 3 in yards per carry, bottom 3 in yards allowed per pass attempt, but they're creating a lot of turnovers. They lead the NFL in turnovers. It helps when you play Spencer Rattler, Geno Smith, J.J. McCarthy twice. It helps, but you play who's on the schedule, and they've been very opportunistic when other teams put the ball in harm's way, and they don't turn the ball over a whole lot. Who knows if Aaron Rodgers is playing? Even if he does play, I don't think it matters. Though he owns the Bears narrative, I'm not buying into that. That is public sucker bet nonsense. that are going to get people to bet on the Steelers in this game. And he might not even play. He has a semi-fractured wrist. That means Mason Rudolph against this Bears defense that hasn't been good, but they're getting Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, TJ Edwards back. That is huge for this Bears defense, really for this secondary to shore it up. I still don't think they'll be that great against the run, even with TJ Edwards. But Jalen Warren, who I think is the Steelers' best offensive weapon, and I understand DK Metcalf's over there, I don't think he's a top 20 receiver in football. Come at me in the comments section. I don't care. I think he's the most overrated player in the league. Doesn't deserve the contract he is on. I love the Bears in this spot. Their O-line also allows the 6th lowest sack rate in the NFL. The way the Steelers win games against good competition, and the Bears are good competition at this point in the season, they're 7-3, is if their defensive line can game wreck, but they just take weeks off. I'm trusting Chicago at home here. Only a 2.5-point favorite as well, and it might not even be Aaron Rodgers. Jalen Warren might not even play. Caleb Williams has looked impressive. The Bears lead the NFL in explosive plays. Give me Chicago minus 2.5 to move to 8-3 against a Steelers team that is just so beyond mid. So I like the Bears minus 2.5 in this spot here. Excuse me. Water break. Patriots at Cincinnati. Joe Burrow back in practice. Probably not going to play. Zach Taylor was very quick to shut down those rumors. That's fine. Joe Flacco was questionable. I think he will play. The Bengals offense got locked up last week by a Steelers defense that is not as good as this Patriots defense, especially in the back end. And the Bengals had Jamar Chase. No Jamar this week because he spit on Jalen Ramsey. Totally accept. That's what the suspension should be. I totally agree. It should be one game. Absolute thug behavior there from Jamar. So no Jamar Chase. Only T. Higgins. Joe Flacco. Worst game as a starter in Cincinnati last week against a worse defense. And the Bengals defense allowed 7.8 yards per pass attempt. They have a passing attack led by Drake May, who is second in the NFL in 30-plus completions, leads the NFL in 50-plus completions, and Keyshawn Booty's back. Keyshawn Booty's at. May I dig in your booty? How many times have you seen that gif or that meme this fucking season? Worst part of my NFL Sunday. I'm in this group chat. Shout out Will Mattimore. I don't think he's a listener, but if he is, shout out Will Mattimore. Good guy. Patriots fan. In this group chat fantasy league with him every fucking Patriots game. Every Sunday, I'll just be watching Keyshawn Booty catch a fucking bomb from Drake May as a Jets fan, wanting to. I gotta stop saying kill myself because I said it on TikTok the other day and I almost got hit with a ban. I also said rape on TikTok today. Somebody in my chat was asking me about, like, what do you think of Ben Roethlisberger? Rapist, obviously. I can't say that though. I'm supposed to say grapist because TikTok. Left-wing liberal media, obviously. This is what they do. Like, everybody knows what I'm talking about anyway, but I just can't say I have to add a grape. Whatever. Let's steer away from that type of conversation is the point here. Not sure how we got here. Not sure how we got there at all. Talking about Drake May, Jets fan. May I dig in your booty? Patriots minus 7. The Pats have an average win margin of 15 versus teams below 500 since getting Gonzo back against the Panthers in week 4. They're also undefeated since getting Christian Gonzalez back. Bengals defense stinks. They allow 7.8 yards per pass attempt. Drake May second in the league in 30-plus yard completions. First in the league in 50-plus yards 50-plus yard completions. They get Keyshawn Booty back. Patriots cover 7 and dominate against Cincinnati. And they're just steamrolling their way here to the number 1 overall seed. The Patriots are all the way back. I hate Mike Vrabel. I hate New England. I hate all Boston sports fans. Hate them all. Giants at Lions. I know I've been a Giants spread hunter truther all season. It's really been a real moneymaker for me. Like, it really honestly has at times, picking my spots with them. This is not a spot I'm picking. I like Detroit minus 10 here. The Giants can't stop the run. The Lions average 4.6 yards per carry. They're a top 10 rushing offense in football. The Giants allow 5.5 yards per carry. The Giants are fucked, respectfully to Jameis Winston. The Lions are also 3-1 as a home favorite, so not a big sample size, but worth noting. They have a tendency to beat up on bad teams. We saw it last year. We've seen it at times this year. The Giants' pass rush, on paper, is supposed to be one of the best in the NFL. But here we are in week 12 now, bottom half of the league in sacks, bottom half of the league in pressures. Where's Abdul Carter? Where is Dexter Lawrence? Dexter Lawrence had like 12 sacks in like 8 games last year or something absurd like that. Where is Dexter Lawrence? Brian Burns is playing at an all-pro level. Brian Burns is playing at a defensive player of the year level. It just happens he exists in the same league as Myles Garrett, and he's also on the New York Giants. Kayvon Thibodeau has stepped up his play a whole lot as well. Where is Dexter Lawrence? Where is Abdul Carter? Where is this Giants pass rush that on paper should be a top 5 pass rush in football? Where is it? Where has it been? You should be a little bit worried if you're a Giants fan that Abdul Carter hasn't taken the league by storm here, because never has a defensive end prospect like Abdul Carter stepped into a situation where he should be able to produce instantly, because he's not going to be double teamed every single play. Like, he's going to get one-on-one opportunities. It would be helpful if the Giants could play with a lead a little bit more often than they are. But at the same time, man, Abdul Carter needs to be more productive. And I understand it's a lot of box score watching. He hasn't been a non-factor, but he's definitely been underwhelming considering he was, the second overall pick in the draft, basically the next Michael Parsons. So where is Abdul Carter? Where is the Giants pass rush? They should be a little bit worried. And if you can't get pass rush against the Lions, they're gonna torch you. They're gonna torch you. Jared Goff, if he has time in the pocket, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, he's gonna have time in the pocket. And if they get this run game going, which they should, Jared Goff on play action in this Lions offense is absolutely fucking lethal. Lethal. Not to mention, these Giants DBs fucking stink. Shout out Cordell Flott. Other than him, they suck. But here's what I'll say. Giants fans, it might look bleak right now, 2-7, 2-8, whatever it is. Giants fans have a very solid future. Jackson Dart, when he was playing before the concussion, looked like there was no step. Like there was no. Oh, I can't speak. There was no learning curve. Giants fans, I understand the season's gotten away from you fast. Brian Daboll's gone. They kept Joe Shane. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But at the end of the day, you got to be happy. You got to be happy with the foundation that has been built there with Jackson Dart, because he looks like the guy. Cam Scadaboo looked like a guy. Malik Neighbors, obviously a guy. This offensive line, when Andrew Thomas is healthy, is one of the better offensive lines in football. Wan'Dale Robinson he can be a proven wide receiver too. So I think the offense is in a pretty decent spot, quite frankly. It's just maybe an interior offensive lineman there, maybe another weapon on the outside or a tight end. But then defensively, you have the front. You need a run stopping linebacker, because they're allowing 5.5 yards per carry. That's unacceptable. You need some help on the back end with the cornerback position. But Cordell Flott's been a solid player. Drew Phillips has been solid-ish for a nickel. Javon Holland, mid. Paulson Adebo, mid. Those are your marquee free agency signings. You need some help on the back end, but this Giants team is just, dare I say, this Giants team is a few pieces away from maybe pushing the Eagles in the NFC East in a year or two. I don't think that's ridiculous to say that. And Jackson Dart has looked incredible. In the span when Jackson Dart was in the league, when Jackson Dart started to before he got hurt, he was third out of all quarterbacks in touchdowns. He was carving. He was carving up. So I think the Giants are in a decent spot here moving forward. Lions -10. Vikings at Packers. This was a very hard game for me to predict here, fellas. Very hard game, because the Packers love to play down to their competition. But I have a nickname for J.J. McCarthy. Obviously, he likes to call himself 9. I like to call him J.J. McDogshit. That might be disrespectful to even dog shit to attach that item to J.J. McCarthy's play on the football field, because that guy fucking sucks. That guy is dog shit. And I'm not talking like a nice, easy dog, like a nice, easy dog shit in the backyard that you take your pooper scooper. It's one easy scoop, chuck it in, or if you got your shovel, it's one easy shovel. I'm talking doggy diarrhea. Doggy diarrhea, where if you touch that diarrhea with the pooper scooper, and I'm talking about the claw pooper scooper type of thing, if you touch it with that, you need to get the hose and clean this fucking thing off. I'm talking doggy diarrhea, and I don't mean just a little bit either. I mean a whole, like, picture an apple pie, but just dog shit. Like, in that type of cylinder in the middle of your yard. That's what I think of J.J. McCarthy as an NFL quarterback so far. That guy fucking sucks. And this is the best defense that JJ's going to have to play. They allow just 5.2 yards per pass attempt and just 3.8 yards per carry. This Packers defense has been elite. Elite. And they got JJ McSteaming pile of dog shit coming to town. In Lambeau, the Packers play down to their competition. I don't give a fuck. JJ McCarthy is horrible. He's Zach Wilson 2.0. He is horrible. At least Zach Wilson flashed some type of arm talent in college. J.J. McCarthy handed the ball off a million times. So I'm going with the Packers here. I will say this: the Vikings defense has stepped it up. They generate more pressure than anybody in the NFL. They also blitz the most out of anybody in the NFL. Maybe they get Jordan Love off their spot. Last year, similar defense, same defensive scheme, similar defense. I'd say this year's Vikings defense is a little bit worse. But last year, the Vikings had an offense. They were 2-0 against the Packers. They had Sam Darnold. But the Packers' offense scored more than 25 each time. It was 25 and 29 in the two times this Packers offense played this Vikings defense. I think the Packers can get into the 20s. I don't think a JJ McDogshit led offense is getting into the double digits against this Packers defense unless there's a kick return touchdown. They get some turnovers. They get some advantageous field position where they're kicking 4 field goals. I don't think JJ McDogshit's capable of leading a touchdown winning drive. Maybe Jordan Addison makes a nice play. Justin Jefferson makes a nice play. That's a complete possibility. Like, that's not ridiculous to say that. But man, is JJ McCarthy just a heaping pile of dog shit. JJ McDog shit until further notice. Give me the Packers -7. Colts at Chiefs. This game, man. This fucking game. I can't with this game. I don't know what to think here, fellas. I got zero fucking clue. I got zero clue. It's a bad place to be. As a Chiefs truther, it is a bad place to be because I think the Colts can win this game outright. I really do. I really do. I am a Chiefs glazer. I've been on the record as a Chiefs glazer. I think it's the end of the road. I'm not going to bury Patrick Mahomes. That will never be. I will never be the guy to bury Patrick Mahomes. It's that's just not the type of guy I am. But the more I look at this Colts and Chiefs matchup, I think the Colts have a great chance to win this game. I really do. The Colts run defense is middle of the pack. They're 15th in yards per carry, and yards per carry allowed, but they just don't generate an elite amount of pass rush, man. And Daniel Jones was looked at as worst so far this season. In the last 2 games going into the bye, the Falcons got after him. They sacked him 5 times. He put the ball on the ground 3 times, only lost it once. The Steelers sacked him a bunch. They were in his face all day. He turned the ball over 5 times. This Chiefs defense doesn't generate a whole lot of pressure like that. I'm sure Spags will have some type of nasty blitzes drawn up. But then you look at this Colts secondary right now. Getting Charvarius Ward back, who was playing at a Pro Bowl level before the concussion. Sauce Gardner is an elite top 5 corner in this league. Kenny Moore is one of the best nickel corners in football as well. Nick Cross is one of the best strong safeties in the league. And then Cam Bynum is one of the best free safeties in the league. This Colts secondary looks dangerous. Dangerous. It sucks that they lost to Forrest Buckner because now the interior of that defense, the middle of that defense, is a little bit susceptible right now. But the Chiefs don't have a great run game unless it's Patrick Mahomes scrambling. Kwity Paye, Laiatu Latu, and a little bit of a breakout season, a little bit. I think the Colts can win this game. I think their defense is better than the Chiefs' defense. And I think if they can run the ball, keep Mahomes off the field, even though Mahomes hasn't really been a whole world beater, even if Mahomes is on the field, I like the Colts matchups on the outside against this receiving core, man. So as much as it pains me, I'm taking the Colts here. I'm taking the Colts plus 3.5 as a Chiefs truther. The Chiefs have burned me all year. It's time I stop being an idiot. Let's go with the Colts plus 3.5. I think they match up very well with this Chiefs team. And I think they have one of the best secondaries in football. But most importantly, give me the over 49.5 all day long. All day long. All right, chat. Let's get into these 4 o'clock games. Kind of brief, like I mentioned, because I was talking to that bitch all day. Not a bitch. Shouldn't say that. But I was talking to her for too long, so I didn't do that much research because I need to get to bed. So maybe it'll be a little bit brief. This episode is brought to you by Sharp Hunter. The best player props or the best prop bets for Sunday, according to Sharp Hunter, which takes into account all of the money that's being placed on NFL for Week 12, finds where the sharp money is and then lets you know via the chat bot. Just type into the chat bot, hey, what are the best plays for NFL Sunday? I just did that. Sharp Hunter's telling me the under 41.5 in Minnesota at Green Bay. This Vikings defense has really ramped it up over the past few weeks, and J.J. McCarthy absolutely stinks. Plus, the Packers like to play down to their competition, so I do love the under in that with a 2 money bag score. And then Jets at Ravens under 44.5 in that game as well. Those are the best prop bets via Sharp Hunter, which takes into account, like I said, all of the bets that have been placed so far this football season, finds out who the best bettors are, where they're putting their money. That's where they're putting it. Use code FIRE50 for a 1-week free trial with the Sharp Hunter chatbot, AI chatbot. All right, everybody. 4 o'clock games, Browns at Raiders. Not going to waste everyone's time with this stinker. But I do have an elite play for this NFL Sunday. Elite play. No touchdown to be scored in the Browns and Raiders game at plus 3,500. Absolutely worth the sprinkle. Shedeur Sanders was so bad that if he spiked the ball on every single pass attempt, he would have had a higher passer rating. A higher passer rating. The good news, though, the Browns defense is one of the best in the NFL. Number 2 total defense, number 1 passing defense, and the Raiders offense absolutely stinks. They stink. Geno Smith leads the NFL in interceptions. Their rushing attack not ideal, and their wide receiver 1 is Trey Tucker. Plus 3,500. Browns Raiders, probably the stinkiest game of the season. Shedeur Sanders absolutely stinks. I'm not saying mortgage the house, obviously. But if you're looking for a long shot for a plus 3,500, no touchdown to be scored in the Browns-Raiders game. I think there's a real chance here. I think we got a chance. As far as the spread goes in that game, I'm going to take the Raiders. They have the better quarterback, even though like Geno Smith stinks. I'm thinking 10-6. No 10 because there's not going to be. I'm thinking 12-6 Raiders. Also in that game, I would bet like a special teams or defensive touchdown as well, because I don't think if there is a touchdown, it's not coming from the offenses, respectfully. I think this could be a game where we see a pick 6, kickoff return touchdown, something like that. Obviously the stinkiest game of the slate, but a lot of eyes will be on it because Shedeur Sanders is playing. I will be in Disney. That pisses me off. Every time I think about it, it's going to piss me off. Whatever. Maybe I can convince my parents somehow, some which way, let me just get back for the 4 o'clock games. Like, dude, I don't want to be at Disney from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. That doesn't sound fun for anybody. Like that, does that sound fun to any listener? Anybody listening? If you're listening and you have my number or you have me on Snapchat, text me if that sounds fun. Disney for 9 hours, regardless if it's an NFL Sunday. Just walking around the whole fucking time, waiting in line for 5 hours, bro. I'm not happy. Jaguars at Cardinals. Cardinals -3. I love the Jags -3, excuse me. I love the Jags in this game. It's pretty simple with the Jaguars. If they can run the ball efficiently, they win games. In some of their losses this year, they're not been able to run the ball whatsoever. Bishal Tuin looked nice against the Chargers last week. Same with ETN. I think that's a solid 1-2 punch. Obviously, the Chargers defense is one of the worst run defenses in football. The Cardinals don't have Marvin Harrison Jr. Their run defense is bottom half of the league. The O-line stinks. They're top 10 in sack rate allowed. This Jags defensive line was getting after Herbo last week. I like the Jaguars. I think they're a good team. Very volatile team as well. And my rule of thumb for them really since I think they played the Seahawks earlier in the year, and they just stuffed the Seahawks. Seahawks just stuffed their run game. The Rams stuffed their run game. They can't run the ball well. They lose. Their offense can't move the ball. Even though Jacoby Brissett's been playing well, this Jags defense, which is very volatile, they're healthier. They're healthier than they have been they have a few games skid there. They're getting healthier. I like the Jaguars -3 here. I'm picking all the favorites. I really am. Eagles, Cowboys. Lane Johnson not Lane Johnson, -3.5. Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. Lane Johnson is doubtful to play, but Eagles fans talk about their backup tackle, Fred Johnson, like he is 6th man of the year. Like he's one of the greatest backup swing tackles in the history of the game. And I don't doubt him because that's what Howie Roseman does. So I do like the Eagles here. Even though the Cowboys, for some reason, people are talking playoffs with the Cowboys. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm ignorant. I don't see it at all. That defense still stinks. They just played the Raiders, and the Raiders were able to move the ball against them fairly well. The Raiders have one of the worst offensive lines in football. And when you have Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams on your defensive line going up against the interior of the Raiders offensive line, that one is injured and two sucks to begin with, it's going to be a long day for Geno Smith in that offense, in that run game. The Eagles' interior offensive line is better. It's better than the Raiders. Newsflash. And the Cowboys' defense is just not good. fucking sucks. It really sucks. Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, even though there's some stuff going on there, you got those two guys on the outside against Deron Bland and Adoree Jackson. Or excuse me. Yeah, no, Deron Bland, not Adoree Jackson. Deron Bland and maybe Savon Ravel, the rookie. I think he's back. Which, listen, if you listen to the draft stuff, I was a big Savon Ravel guy. Savon Ravel, however you say his name, out of ECU. Built like Sauce Gardner. Freak. Would have been a first round pick if he didn't get hurt his senior year at Eastern Carolina because he's just a walking highlight reel. Maybe he gives them a jolt. And obviously, Overshown's back. Ezeraku's been a solid rookie. So we'll see, but I also think this Eagles defense has been unbelievable. They held the Lions and the Packers both to single digits. This Cowboys offensive line is good, very good, playing out of its mind, very young unit as well. This Eagles pass rush has been unbelievable over the past few weeks since adding Jalen Phillips. Adoree Jackson seems to have got his feet under him in the Fangio scheme. Quinyon Mitchell's one of the best corners in the league, if not the. No, he's not the best. Pat is the best, but he could be CB2. I wouldn't hate that argument. I love the Eagles -3 here. They just keep winning, man. They just keep on winning. So I'm going to keep riding them. I've rode them the last 2 weeks. I will not be riding them as confidently as I rode them the last 2 weeks. Like my two biggest bets of the season have been the Eagles to cover the spread the last 2 weeks, literally saving the season. I'm not that confident it'll just be a normal unit size. I wish I hammered the Texans so hard today. Like I really wanted to, but I don't know why I didn't. I was being a pussy. But yeah, I like the Eagles. And then my favorite play is the Saints. My favorite play is the Saints. Maybe not a nuclear play, but maybe a mini nuclear play. Kirk Cousins sucks. No Kirk Cousins, no Drake London. The Saints offensive line, believe it or not, is pretty solid. Bottom half of the league in sack rate. Allowed. Kelvin Banks Jr., the rookie out of Texas, has been unbelievable for the Saints so far, at least according to PFF and Twitter highlights. And you know me, I'm a Tyler Shuck guy, man. I'm a Tyler Shuck guy. Even though this Falcons defense is what are they, top 5 in passing yards? Hold on, I have the notes here. 6th in the NFL in pass defense, but it has regressed over the past few weeks. Drake May, Danny Dimes both had 250 through the air, and then Bryce Young just had 400 through the air on them. I think Tyler Shuck will be able to exploit this defense, even though their pass rush has been nice in Atlanta. Top 5 in sacks. I like the Saints offensive line a little bit, man. Talise Fuaga, Calvin Banks. They got some young tackles over there, some young stud tackles that they can build around. I like Tyler Shuck a whole lot, man. He's looked poised, confident, accurate. He's tall, more mobile than people give him credit for, has an absolute cannon. Chris Olave, I think, can separate. I like the Saints in this spot here. And you know that the Falcons are going to lean on Bijan heavily. The Saints have one of the best run defenses in football. They're only allowing 4 yards per carry, which is 9th, excuse me, the ninth best run defense in football in terms of yards per carry allowed. I imagine the Falcons are going to lean heavily on Bijan. The Saints will key in on that. I like the Saints to contain him. And Kirk Cousins has not looked good at all. Maybe it's different because he has a week to start, but I don't know. I'm flying through today's episode, chat, but dude, my voice hurts from just talking so much. I swear. Like my throat hurts. All I do is fucking yap, 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 yap. It's unbelievable. All right. Sunday night football, Bucks at Rams. Again, I'm going with all the favorites for the late slate, chat. All the favorites today. I like the Rams -7. When I first saw this, I'm like, dude, the Bucks 7-point dogs. You got to take them here. They're better than what they're better than they're showing that they've made the last few weeks. But unfortunately, I don't think that's true. I think this Bucks team is I think that this Bucks team is the worst division winner out of all the teams that are going to win their division in the NFL. I think the Bucks are a first round exit pretty easily here in the NFC because their defense is just not that good. The Bucks defense is not that good. They don't generate pressure with 4. They only generate pressure by blitzing. They're bottom half of the league in pressure rate, but they're top 3 in blitz percentage. They're reeling a little bit, man. They losers of 3 of their last 4. Rams defense is top 10 against the pass, top 10 against the run, top 10 in total yards per play, top 10 in sacks, pressure rate, second in turnovers. The Rams defense is nice. And the Rams offense is one of the best passing attacks in football, top 10 in yards per game, top 10 in yards per pass attempt. I think they're like top 5 in yards per game. I think they're the second, low key. Number one in passing touchdowns, one of the best goal line offenses in the NFL. What is it? Jamel Dean and Zion McCollum for the Bucks on the outside against Stafford and Puka, and they do play a lot of man coverage because they like to blitz a lot. I think Stafford and McVay are going to absolutely eat up eat up this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense if they send the house as much as they do. They can't afford to do that and leave these corners who aren't horrible, but they're not the ideal guys you want to have in man to man. Zion McCollum, Jamel Dean, yeah, against Puka and Devontae. If you blitz them, it's going to be quick slants to death. Nobody runs a better quick slant in the league than Devontae Adams too, so it's going to be quick slants to death. The Bucs' run defense, although it's been solid at times, it's also been inconsistent. Jahmyr Gibbs gashed them. Travion Henderson gashed them. They contained James Cook last week, so maybe Kyron can get something going. But I think Matthew Stafford can throw the ball 40 times in this game, and they will still win. I like Stafford to have a big day. The question is, can this Bucs offense keep up with the Rams offense? So the over is at 49.5. I don't mind a sprinkle there, but I'm really all over the Rams more than anything with some Matthew Stafford, maybe completion props. But then game script kind of hurts that. But the way the Bucs like to blitz, I think that ball's going to be flying out of his hand fast. So maybe some Matthew Stafford passing touchdowns, Matthew Stafford passing, Puka Devontae receiving, something along those lines. I think it's going to be a good day for this Rams passing offense against the Bucs passing defense that has just not been very good. I have the number here if I can find it. For some reason, I can't see it. Hold on. Oh no, I deleted it. I closed the tab out too, so you guys are fucked. But the Bucs are bottom five passing defense in yards per pass attempt. So they let up big plays. They don't generate pressure with 4. They need the blitz a lot. Not a good recipe to blitz and leave your guys in man coverage against one of the guys with one of the fastest releases in the NFL. Number 1, Matthew Stafford, and then man coverage against the best wide receiver duo in the league. Not ideal. I think the Rams take care of the Bucs.